check it out. What's up everybody, Super WRX fan here, and it's Friday, which means another weekly update. So, what's new with the BRZ? Well, the only thing is that I've passed over 17,000 miles on the car now. Lots of driving still, loving the car, running great, can't complain about anything at all. So, one question I wanted to answer though, that a lot of people have been asking recently is, I'm a Super WRX fan. You know, you guys loved that review of the WRX, and I appreciate your comments on the Corvette review too, by the way. That was awesome. Glad you guys enjoyed that. But anyway, everyone's been asking me, okay, so you're a Super WRX fan, so why did you buy a BRZ over a WRX in the first place? And that's a valid question. So, why did I buy a BRZ? Well, I was very close to not buying a BRZ. I was extremely close to buying a Mustang GT instead. And it was really a toss-up between the two of them. I love both of them a ton, and I eventually decided to go for the BRZ. And the reason why, my rationale when I bought this car a year ago, was it was rear-wheel drive, and I wanted a more fun, engaging car than the Legacy. Whenever I bought this car, I still had the Legacy, which was all-wheel drive, turbo, so I already had all the turbo, all-wheel drive fun stuff that you would get in the WRX, and I just had a little more luxury in the Legacy. So I said I wanted to do something different. I wanted, you know, something that looks more aggressive. I've always wanted a two-door, and this car was just beautiful. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought I would just buy one just because of the looks. I didn't even care how it drove. I just adored the way it looked, and I just wanted it for that reason alone. But whenever I started doing more research, I remembered how much I loved driving the Honda S2000 a few times that I had to drive with one. And this car had a lot of the same similar qualities that the S2000 had. It had a very small engine that put out a lot of horsepower per liter. You know, this is a 2-liter motor with 200 horsepower. 100 horsepower per liter is pretty impressive. And so, that combined with the high revving ability of this motor to rev to 7,400 RPMs, that was another consideration. I wanted something that I could really ring out and drive it like I stole it. The rear-wheel drive, like I said, enticed me because I'd never owned a rear-wheel drive car before, and I wanted that experience. So those were all the reasons why I picked the BRZ over the WRX. And why I'm not crazy about the current generation WRX is quite simply that I'm bored with them. The looks are good, but it's just been around for so long that it's stale now. I didn't really feel the need to have the all-wheel drive, and now especially, you know, the reason I sold the Legacy was because I found out from other owners that these are quite good in the snow. Just put some Blizzaks on them and they're fine. So, that's why I was able to sell the Legacy and just get rid of an all-wheel drive car altogether. But, the WRX just kind of bored me. It has the same basic idea. I didn't want another 4-door car either, and so all those factors together are why I chose the BRZ over the WRX. I thought it'd be a more exciting car, more engaging, and kind of allow me to grow as a driver with, you know, being able to own a rear-wheel drive car and the different handling dynamics that come with that, and the additional driver challenges that come with that instead of all-wheel drive, which is easy and safe. And so I mentioned the S2000, how much I love the S2000, so why didn't I just buy an S2000 years ago instead? Or why didn't I buy the Mustang GT? And one was that this gets better gas mileage, which is always a consideration in a daily driver. Another reason why is because this is more practical. This has a usable back seat that the S2000 doesn't have. And also, I'm, very interested in the safety of a car and things like that. So the fact that this has, is engineered by Subaru, which means it has Subaru reliability, it has Subaru safety with all the airbags this car has, the S2000 doesn't have, and just, being 10 years newer, it's going to hold up better in a crash than the 10-year-old, S2000 will. So those are some of the reasons why I chose this car over the S2000 and the Mustang. So yeah, guys, hope that clears up some of your questions, and if you have any other questions, please, feel free to ask in the comments. And for those of you that are new to my channel and might be wondering, well, why did you choose the BRZ over the Scion FRS, which is its identical cousin? I actually did a video of that in my one weekly update a few weeks ago, and I'll post a link to it right down here, and you can check that out, and that'll answer all your questions about why I chose the BRZ over the FRS. So yeah, I'll send it back to me in my chair for the news section. Right, so for this week in automotive news, the first thing I want to talk about is the brand new Mazda 3 that was officially unveiled this week. I think it looks spectacular. It looks a lot like the Mazda 6, which is a good thing, and I'm just generally excited that all these compact cars are finally starting to look good, because we see so many of them on the road, you know, all the little Toyota Corollas and things like that, and now the Toyota Corolla, like I just talked about recently, has a restyle and it looks excellent now, and the Mazda 3 is another one that you see all over the roads around here, and it's going to be great to see these new versions that look absolutely gorgeous and stunning, to see those driving around, and I'm sure that's going to be a great seller for Mazda. It looks spectacular, has the same great recipe that the previous cars have had. I'm sure it'll get excellent gas mileage and be pretty cheap and affordable. So yeah, I'm glad all these economy cars are finally starting to look good. Speaking of looking good, the Porsche 911 GT2, the new version, was caught out testing on the Nürburgring, and it looks pretty sweet. It looks a lot like the GT3, but this car is going to be crazy. They're saying it could be the first production 911 to go over 200 miles an hour, which could be pretty sweet. So definitely looking forward to seeing the official figures on that whenever that's released, but it's cool to see that they're working on it. And some good news I read this week on Autoblog was that the Audi R8 is apparently not going to go with an engine downsize. Instead, it's just going to go on a diet. So, you know, all the Audis recently have been ditching, like the S6 and the S8 all had V10s, and now they just have twin-turbo V8s, which is still a sweet motor, but doesn't sound as good as the V10 does. So they're saying this new R8 is just going to be a smaller, more lightweight version of the car, and so that way they'll still have better gas mileage, but they can still keep the awesome engines. So I'm looking forward to the final design for that. I'm sure it's going to look epic, and it's probably going to share a lot of the same engineering as the new Lamborghini Cabrera, so should be a pretty promising formula. So yeah, guys, that's about it for all the news for this week that I want to talk about, so I'll send it back to me in the car. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the news section, and I'll go ahead and leave you with a nice little acceleration like I always do. There you go, guys, and drive safe, have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Take care.